What's the onboarding like on something like that? Is it because it's such a valuable asset that you're essentially monitoring?
Yeah, so I'll give you a cutout that you can probably put up on the screen or something.
Sure.
It's a traffic light based system. So we keep it simple for the operators because sometimes the operators can be simple. So we want to make sure that it's really clear. So we'll give you a list. So you sit down. The system's run right before your shift started. It's running a series of alarms and a report. You read the report and you can see all the new idlers. So anything that wasn't there yesterday has come up, and then you can see anything that's escalated to a certain level, and then you get a list of everything else. And you can go through and go, I need to really check out 2241, idler number 2241 on Conveyor 2, because that has been read for 2 days.
So this is every idler.
Every idler frame. So traditionally in an idler, you'll have three, and then 2 on the return. So 3 on the carry, 2 on the return. We'll nail it down generally to that trio, because we run along the stringers on both sides of the belt, so it's kind of a parallel system. We'll also give you left, right. It's an indication though, not a measurement, because we're looking at how much signal we're getting left versus right. So it's inferred. So it's not a true measurement in that respect. But that'll give you left, right, which idler, and we're generally accurate to that frame plus or minus 1, depending on the spacing. Obviously, if they're really close together, the accuracy goes out a little, but yeah.
Are people now? I've heard of these systems before. Are people pretty in tune? Like, is it? Do you have to do much of a sales job nowadays, or are people reaching out to you?
So they come to us.
Yeah.
The challenge in selling it is it's a capital project, and they take forever, because of the number of zeros involved in the type of design they are. You know, these things can be for large installations. They can be between $500,000 and $1 million. But what they can do will allow you to earn your return on investment back in hours of equivalent downtime. You know, if you've got a coal belt running 2,000 tons an hour and you're looking at $200 a ton for thermal coal, depending on, you know, it's different. Australia versus here. I think we got up to 275 at one point. You know, if you end up in a situation where you're at $400,000 an hour, I got to save you 2 hours of downtime and the project's done. If you can have an idler take your belt down and you can get it back in 2 hours, you're doing a good job.
Is a lot of it prevention though? Is that what it's before it ever?
Yeah. So I want to be able to tell you, hey, you might want to run the belt down because this idler is looking bad. Or I would give you, you know, we have the reds, the yellows, the greens. Sorry, the red, orange, green. Traffic light. Yeah. So the idea is this one's only an orange. It can wait till next Wednesday when we're doing our shutdown.
Right. Okay. So it's also tiering your
Yeah. So we tried giving it percentages, but it got a little bit. Idlers can change over time and they jump around a bit. So we've basically kind of, you know, broken it into thirds.
Right.
So you can see normal, priority 2, which is your, you know, the orange idler. And then there's the red, which are the ones that clang and clatter and bounce around.
It must just be a huge, for people that have run these sites, all of a sudden now you're not all this guesswork, right? I mean, anybody who's watching, you know, if a conveyor goes down, I mean, you're.
Yeah, and we're also working as well, because fiber optic sensing, you can do 3 things with it in traditional sense. You can do vibration or acoustic monitoring, whether that's acoustics, vibration through the air. You can also do temperature monitoring and strain monitoring. So the strain monitoring we use in tailings dams and things like that. But one of the things we're doing is we're taking the temperature monitoring system, putting it above the belt and using it for flame detection. So there's been a lot of people who've tried to do temperature monitoring of idlers. There's just not enough energy there to really get it across to the fiber. So there's been limited success.
So this is a separate line then for the flame?
It would be above the material. It sits under the weather cover, and you're just basically looking for accumulation of heat because of convection, because otherwise all you've got is radiation in the field. And the amount of, if you've got 100-degree idler and you've got an idler, if you've got a fiber 100 mil away, 4 inches, the change in temperature is less than a degree. So the University of Queensland, who's above Sydney, they did a big study on this, and effectively there's just too much turbulence. There's not enough, it's not an insulated enough system to be able to allow transfer. But one of the things we can do is throw a fiber above there, and then you can go back to your insurance company and say, I've got fire detection on my belts, give me a discount on my premiums.
Right.
That has been enough to make jobs worthwhile for certain clients. Yeah. Just that. Like no downtime saved. Literally, I'm just going to reduce my insurance premium.